non-Christians hating on Christians. This person goes on to say, I was raised Christian, abused in the name of God, lost faith at 10 to 12ish, and now at 19 started to reconnect with my faith. Now that I'm back in Christian spaces, I've noticed such a trend of people being super hateful towards Christians. Do these people not realize how hard that plays into the BS Christian persecution complex American Christians are developing? I was a die-hard atheist for nearly a decade and never talked bad on someone's religion. Even if I thought to myself, unless they were actively being hostile towards me and using God as a scapegoat, it isn't hard. Why do people feel the need to go out of their way to be a jerk about others' beliefs, even subtly? Interesting. I'm really saddened to hear that they were, as they put it, abused in the name of God and lost faith at 10 to 12. That's really sad. I think a lot of times people kind of use the power that is religion for, negativity. And it really kind of warps the image of, what organized religion can be, what Christianity can be, what following, like even reading the Bible, some people are like, no, they're just really off put by it, even though they haven't experienced it. They just hear other people's anecdotal stories, which could be valid. I think there's a lot of people that have had bad experiences with churches, but their story turns people who don't have any experience with churches away from it. And they're like, man, I'm never joining an organized religion because a friend of mine had a bad experience at one. And I just think that's just like a very sad place to be at, where you just think like all churches are bad and that you're being persecuted in America for your belief. Even if they're being kind of really negative and judgmental and stuff, is that really persecution? I think people use that word kind of lightly these days. I think real persecution is like pretty intense. It's not even people being like really mean to you. It's like more than that, That's at least what I think of when I think of persecution. It's not people being really judgmental or even saying mean things. Like, just because, even if someone says something mean to you about your religion, I don't necessarily think that's persecution. I think it goes way farther than that. But it's still not cool. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying. But what would you say? Comment down below. What would you tell this person? This person says, most of them are angry at what people in power are doing in the name of Christianity. Many Christians are too. The only difference is that Christians who are angry know enough Christians who are similarly angry, so they don't direct it at Christianity. Interesting. I can see that. This person says, the internet has brought a lot of wonderful things, but one of the less wonderful things is that people are somewhat protected from being called out when they behave like jerks. I promise you that this isn't exclusive to Christians. There are very few groups that are immune to this treatment. You probably just don't notice it more when it's targeted towards a group you're a member of. Just notice it more. Yeah, it's true. I could see that. This person says, my friend, the persecution complex is not dependent on actual persecution. It's a psychological construct to help comfortable Christians in a Christian-dominated society that have been supremely influential for decades cope with the idea that Jesus said, if you love him, they'll hate you. Well, if you're surrounded by like-minded people, who's going to hate you? But Jesus said serving him means being uncomfortable, so war on Christmas. My kid has to be in the same room as a kid with different parents, and okay, so, we're not the ones feeding, it's self-sustaining. Interesting, I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Honestly, I want this to become conversation, and these people make some good points, but I think there's still some point of views that are not being said. Do you experience this? Do you think that there's a lot of hate? I feel like like that one person said, where because you're a part of that group, you are noticing it in your RAS, your reticular activation system. It's the thing in your brain that picks up when you see it. Like once you start thinking about red cars, like if you're going to buy a red car, you start seeing red cars all around in the world. You're like, wow, there's red cars everywhere. But it's just because you weren't noticing them before. So maybe in some ways you're just noticing all the negativity towards Christians because you're looking for it in a way. You know, not wanting to look for it, but it's just on your RAS, your reticular activation system. So could be a little of that. Maybe you're just in an environment where it's, you know, a lot of negativity. Thankfully, I haven't experienced a lot of hate for my beliefs. I think we're pretty lucky here in America that, you know, there is a level of religious freedom that's pretty amazing, honestly. And I just, you know, I really want to hear what you guys have to say. So please take a moment, comment down below. Hope you're having a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.